AlTA for saying my wife made us look disgraceful. I, M42, have, in the past year, been promoted to a senior position in the engineering company I work for. It has come with many new responsibilities and longer work hours, but my salary has seen a pretty significant increase, which has been greatly appreciated by my wife, F40, and our 3 kids, M14, F14, M10. The other day, I was working from home as our firm had an important Zoom meeting about an infrastructure expansion plan. There were maybe 30 people, mainly from our firm, on the call, but also a government representative and the regional head of our firm were present. Being somewhat introverted, I have never liked public displays of affection. They're crude and attention-seeking in my mind. So imagine my shock and embarrassment when my wife, who had recently come home, sits on my lap and started kissing me. It happened just as I was starting to respond to a point that the regional head made, but I ended up completely losing my train of thought. I'm pretty sure everyone on the call saw as well because there was a decently long awkward silence. My wife noticed my discomfort, and the call, and she left. Going back to the presentation was just awful for me at that stage. I was talking way too fast and stuttering. One of my coworkers, F39, took over from that point, and I didn't say much until the Q&A session. As the call was coming to a close, I mentioned how I plan to refine our plan by the time of the next meeting, but the regional boss told me not to spend too much time on it as your wife seems to need you more than we do, which just further solidified my embarrassment. After the call, I confronted my wife about what happened, and she did not seem too bothered. In fact, she mentioned how it was good that they see that I am a family man and that I was overreacting. She also told me that she thought the webcam was off. I was very frustrated as she knew about this meeting, so I told her that her actions made us look disgraceful and immature and that they caused me great humiliation. My wife was taken aback by this and said that I cared too much about what other people thought and how I'm borderline embarrassed of her. We argued for a bit longer, and it culminated with my wife locking herself in our room. We have not spoken much since then, and I'll probably be sleeping on the couch for the next few days. I am too embarrassed to talk about this with anyone in my personal life. AlTA, my wife is a high school chemistry and biology teacher, so she has had many work-related Zoom calls herself in the relatively recent past. I don't think I have ever felt so embarrassed in my life. I was required to go back to the office today, so I did get a chance to speak with my director. He and most of my coworkers found the situation hilarious, mainly because I'm known as the stoic/quiet guy in our workplace. I plan on chatting with my wife about this tonight. My new position has required me to work pretty closely with the aforementioned F39 and 2 other women, so perhaps that might be bothering her? I got home and had a long chat with my wife. I started by apologizing for overreacting and I did say a bunch of other sentimental things that I don't normally say, but I know she loves. My wife accepted my apology and apologized as well. She mentioned that she got defensive earlier because she herself was very embarrassed and she really did assume my webcam was off. She said that she acted spontaneously but ultimately regretted it. However, she reiterated that it was good that my coworkers saw me as a family man. I probed further and asked her if there was anyone in particular she wanted that message aimed at, and she did admit that she felt slightly uncomfortable with me working closely with some of my female colleagues. Lastly, she mentioned how my longer hours have made me less physically affectionate and expressed her desire for that to change. I'm glad things have cooled down, but still feel slight embarrassment about the whole incident.